I'm the manager of the Matamata Public Relations Association, which is a little community organisation and predominantly manages the Eyesight Visitor Centre. As you say, it has been based pretty much on the rural sector, very strong dairy and significant thoroughbred. Maybe a visit to the Firth Town Museum and a walk to the Wairio Falls was about as touristy as it could get over the years. But in 1999, of course, we were very lucky that Peter Jackson chose the Alexander's Farm 20 minutes away, and the whole thing changed from there. And it was the most remarkable thing. From day one, away we went. The demand was massive. The information centre became the ticketing agent, and from then there was just busloads going out from there. So still the locals still struggled a little bit about what it was all about, and I often had people coming and talking to me about how we should promote the town, completely oblivious to the masses waiting to get on the bus. But our growth in this little information centre went from about 50 visitors a year, pretty much 80% domestic, to 2002 it doubled to about 90,000, and in 2004 we increased to 367,000 people through the Visitor Information Centre doors. So it was a dramatic thing. It took a little time, but it certainly started to change people's perception of what we were. The first thing that we did was put up the Welcome to Hobbiton sign in the middle of the town, and that has become one of the most photographed signs in the country, I would suggest. We built a little hobbit hole on the information centre with a little grass roof. It was a little basic corner, but it worked for us. The funny thing was, in 2003, the Business Association, we had a little promotion where we painted up all the members' windows to look like little unique hobbit holes. And they lasted all summer, but funnily enough, it was the retailers that started scratching them off fairly quickly. You know, they were over that. So there was still that sort of mindset of, you know, I love it, but I'm not seeing much of it. The accommodation providers were having 10% increases purely due to visitors from Hobbiton. A new motel was built. Another motel added some luxury units. All of them, the rest of the motels actually changed hands, so it was an opportunity. People were seeing it as a great benefit to come to buy a business in Matamata. And we here at the Information Centre built an extension, a $90,000 extension to the Information Centre, because we were becoming a bit crowded in here. And still the people were starting to talk about it. There was starting to be that sort of feel that things needed to change. We were now a serious little tourist destination. After The Lord of the Rings and people seeing all these people coming to town, there was talk for such a long time worldwide about whether the movie would ever be, The Hobbit would ever be filmed. We started to get a little excited in town here, and then finally the news came that they would be rebuilding the set. I guess the key turning point was Ring Scenic Tours had always in the past offered open days, but this time they opened an open day, and I think we put through 1,600 locals went out to see it, and they could finally understand that there was no more just holes in the hills. There was this beautiful set, and they really got the hang of it. But of course, the big thing that happened for us was we were getting busier and busier. Although we were no longer the sole ticketing agent, you could go to the farm, there just wasn't enough room in here. And we had a vision of creating something that put us in association with the films. And finally, after being turned down a couple of times, we finally got approval. And Dan Henner, who was the Oscar-winning production designer, came to us with a design of our beautiful gatehouse, which was built and opened on the 29th of November. Last year, 2012. So that has been a phenomenal success, and I think everybody can see what it's all about. People stop going by to take photos of our gatehouse. It certainly has also helped visitation to the movie set as well. So it's been phenomenal. I think we've now finally got what it's all about. Well, I'll be honest, it wasn't actually unexpected. We've done everything, particularly with the gatehouse, to stop traffic. 10 years ago, yes, it was unexpected. I think I did my predictions on maybe 10 a day going to the set. That was just completely blown out of the water within a couple of months. These days it's hundreds and hundreds that go on a daily basis. But from our door numbers, I can tell you that 1,967,000 people, let's call it 2 million, have come to Matamata purely because of our association with the Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit. And I guess you look at that, and even if 1 million of them just took a photo and drove by, of that other half that stayed, maybe 50% bought a cup of coffee, bottle of water. I mean, it adds about 1.75 million to our economy. Petrol, you know, a few of those bought some petrol. You know, we're talking about $5 million. So the economic benefits have just been wonderful for a small rural town. There's business confidence. We now have more cafes. Robert Harris right beside us, Subway across the road. So they've all been given confidence to open their business. And I also get a lot of people coming asking me for details for their business plans because they're looking at opening businesses or buying businesses. Major growth. We had a new motel built straight after they heard that The Hobbit was going to be released. Tremendous growth in motels, and a lot of the work that was done in those quieter times when the global financial crisis hit, and it certainly helped us through those couple of years. We didn't feel too much hardship at that time. And my prediction is that the Hobbiton movie set will be the biggest tourist attraction within New Zealand, particularly over the next 5 years. The results have been very, very good for our small town, and they will continue to be, and certainly when our gatehouse opens, we just invite everybody to come back and visit us and take a photo or come visit. So I hope you can come along to the lecture, which is on the 7th of August at the Gallagher Centre. We can give a little bit more information about how our small town has experienced this phenomenon, and certainly answer anybody's questions, so I hope to see you there.